القلوب.
Welcome back, viewers at home. You're joining us today is Pandora, who is a beacon of empowerment and resilience in the realm of women's advocacy and entrepreneurship. Now, recently, Pandora had the honor of representing South African women in business at an event held in Angola on the 16th of March. As the sole representative from her country, Pandora's experience sheds light on the challenges as well as opportunities faced by young women, or rather young women who are actually entrepreneurs in the global landscape. Today, we delve into her insights and reflection on this significant event, exploring the nuances of her experience and the broader implications for women in business. Pandora, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us yet again.
Thank you so much for the invite. It's an honor to be here again. It feels so good.
Now, for individuals who missed, our conversations where we spoke about, just insight in terms of you going there and your feelings, amongst other things, I want you to take us back on your initial thought of you being chosen as a sole representative for South Africa to such a very significant event.
For me, it was truly humbling. It was an honor. But at the same time, I was feeling that this is exactly what women need when we speak about a collective Africa. So for me, I was so humbled, yet it was a great honor because I know I've put in the work. So what you put out there, you never know who's watching you. Keep giving it your best. So as much as it was exciting, but for me, it's about time. It's about time that we come collective as women in Africa and take up Africa to the next level.
Just on a personal level, how was the event holistically? Walking in, arriving at the country, just the experience of it.
Angola is a place that everyone must just go to in Africa. The warmth and the hospitality and the love that they have for us. You are treated like the queen that you are. In that country. That's as far as I can take it for now. You are treated as the queen that you are. And for me, Angola has become home. It's home because where your heart is, that's where home is. I no longer feel like a foreigner in Angola. I feel like I belong because the community and the people of the country made me realize that there is a space for you at our table. And it's big enough for you. Take it up. There's no competition. It's all yours. Take it. That for me is home.
You know, one thing for sure, we as South Africans, we thrive in the nuisance of Ubuntu ngabantu, or the Ubuntu feeling. And you think, yes, and you think it's only within the boundaries of South Africa. But the moment you go to other African countries and you see the Ubuntu coming in a very foreign place, it's like you don't even feel like, you actually ask yourself, am I actually in a foreign place as I am, or it's just me dreaming? But it's so humbling to hear it from you. But another question I want to know from the event itself, some of the key discussions that were had, I want to know what are some of the things that you can share with us in terms of, addressing the challenges as well as opportunities for women entrepreneurs?
One thing that stood out for me that was, because we're different speakers and there were panelists as well, but we as women were coming with one thing in common. What are the solutions in order for us to help the young entrepreneurs who are women? Let's be inclusive. Inclusive. Women equality at the boardrooms. And talking on the ESGs that we are facing, which is the environmental, social, and governance. Those are the things that were coming in, that where are the resources in order for us to be able to help these women? Because most of us, we were our own mentors. We fell, we had to pick ourselves up. You're knocking at doors, you don't even know where to go for the funding. You don't even know which door to knock at. But there were so many solutions to say to them, everything is at your disposal. What you choose to do with it is up to you. That stood out for me because some of us did not have that opportunity and that privilege. We learned, when they say experience is the greatest teacher, that's what some of us learned.
And we're so grateful for individuals like yourself. But seeing that, Pandora, you're an advocate for, women empowerment, I want you to just share with us in terms of the event in question, what are some of the conversational topics that really resonated with you and the work that you do here in South Africa?
For me, what really, really resonated was authenticity. A lot of the speakers were being honest that it's not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy. But given the social platforms, it looks easy. And everyone makes it as if you wake up, you've got the business idea, and tomorrow you're making money. No one was selling dreams at that stage. People were selling reality. And how do you navigate through those challenges that business comes with? Because business comes with a lot of challenges.
True.
So authenticity and speaking your truth based on your experience, those are the things that stood out for me, because none of the women who are on that stage were selling dreams. They were selling the reality of business and how you prepare yourself in the space if you call yourself an entrepreneur. There were no dreams that were being sold.
You know, this is a conversation that's actually happening on social media. I think it's more targeting influencers, where they're like, you know what, you guys are selling dreams. You out here putting these things on social media, having people really doubt their hard work because of what you're saying, instead of telling them the realities of how you got there and what's keeping you there, instead of gatekeeping. And now seeing that you were amongst remarkable women out there, and they were actually choosing to be honest, rather than, you know, selling dreams to say, hey, you know, this is it, this is nice, you know what, it's a walk in the park. But then instead of that, they gave their true selves, highlighting, as you said, their authenticity. I want to know from you as well, is you have interacted, I'm sure, with different individuals from different countries. From that interaction, what's the one thing you feel like it's common in terms of challenge as well as opportunity, as well as how can individuals watching this evening try and navigate through those challenges without feeling like they are the only one or they are isolated in that challenge?
So the one thing that stands out for us as women, one thing that stood out for me that women are going through, and I think it's a challenge that we are facing as different women from different walks of life, is you have to be resilient. You have to fight for your spot at the table. No one is going to give it to you. For your voice to be heard, what is your best foot forward? When you get the rejections, are you giving up, or you just going to pick yourself up and keep going until the right door open? So I was amongst it, and I gave credit to Angola, who was the host. It's as if they handpicked a certain caliber of women leaders that they knew they were going to be able to touch the core of these young women, because we were all speaking about how hard it has been. But one thing we have in common, we are so resilient. We are so consistent. We kept to our lanes and kept doing what you are doing. And with you doing that, you got yourself at the table. You chased after the opportunity. You did not wait for the opportunity to land at your lap. And given the fact that we are women, you have to fight 10 times harder for you to be heard.
Now, I'm going to circle back a bit. Earlier on, you spoke about inclusivity and equality. And we all know that takes a different narration or even conception when people tend to speak on, to them, what equity looks like and inclusion looks like. From your experience of, you know, being in the business and being an advocate for empowerment and being at such a very beautiful event, would you say, or rather, if I may ask, what is your definition or insight of inclusion and equity, and what does that actually look like? Is that even shaped by your experience in Angola, or it was shaped way before?
All right, so when we speak about me as a business person, I'm a board president for Big Business Africa. So Big Business Africa, it is a premium networking hub where we are coming as a collective from different parts of Africa. And for me, I am a female, and I'm sitting as a board president at that table. And our mission and our strategy is very clear with Big Business Africa, that we are all about inclusive, we are all about innovation, and we are all about coming together to see the future of the businesses within Africa. So it is a hub where people are coming and we are trading amongst each other, where you register, you become a member, and you've got this pool, this hub. So for me, to get that opportunity and be at that table, it's because I was always inclusive from the beginning. But there were certain individuals that could say that, look, we've got this organization, but in terms of a person that's going to drive us forward, it has to be a woman. And look in our board, we've got Angola, we've got Mozambique, we've got Zimbabwe, we've got South Africa. But for them to choose me as a woman from South Africa, I say I've always been inclusive. You only withdraw what you deposit. That's how life works.
Now that you're back, I want to know we always have a plan, right? To say this is how we're shifting things, this is how we're evolving as somebody who's actually in the board and spearheading so many projects, I can just presume. What is changing? What can we expect from you?
So from me, the thing I always say, how I want to leave this world, if I had to die tomorrow, I need to leave footprints on the sands of time that says I was here. Meaning, I came, I did what I was born to do, and my thing is only about, can I impact lives? Can I help people find their purpose? Can we see a united Africa? Once I see that, I'm ready to die. Once I see that Africa is actually united, and that's what big business Africa is all about. Hence, I accepted the appointment to be their board president. So for me, it's all about what are we doing to evolve Africa? How are we building Africa so that we trade with each other and grow with each other? So that is the vision that I have, a united Africa.
Now, Pandora, you have a very beautiful story because your beginnings were very humble, and today you're here, president, and I think many individuals, they look at you and they're like, this is where I see myself heading, or this is where I see myself going. What words of advice would you share for viewers who are tuned in this evening?
To the young women, especially women, I love women with all my heart. To the woman is, be clear on what you want out of life. When you are 19, you are not young anymore. I wish I could go back and collect my years. Because if I had known what I know now back then, but everything happens at the right time, at the right place, because I would have not been this woman that I am had I not learned. But if you are young and you know what you want out of life, my biggest advice to you is focus. Be very clear on your vision. Be very clear on where you are going. Also, allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be a student. And I urge women who are thinking of entrepreneurship, if you are in varsity and you are studying, please go and work for someone. Please go to corporate, because that is where you learn the structures. That is where you learn how to run a business. That experience of corporate makes us, because whatever you learn from there, you are able to implement it in your own business. So there is no entrepreneur that wakes up and decides, today I'm an entrepreneur. There's still a lot that you need to learn from corporate or whatever industry you find yourself. Please just go and be a student. And then you can gauge from there after you've learned the knowledge and learn how businesses work, because there's operation, there's human resources. There's a lot that builds a business. No man is an island. You need to learn from others. So go and sit on giant shoulders within corporates and ask them to mentor you. Share who you want to be with them. And then grow. And then go and run your own business.
Now, Pandora, we spoke about your beautiful journey in Angola. We spoke about, you highlighted your legacy that you want, and we spoke about how, just answering most questions, I think most viewers can tell that you are actually passionate about being an advocate for women empowerment. Just in closing, what's the one thing you live by? What's your mantra that you wake up to, you sleep to, that keeps you going?
For me, there's so many, but nothing was meant to be easy. Nothing was meant to be easy. That's what my mentor told me, and I held on to that. In order for you to create the life that you want, because you create it, but don't expect the journey to be easy.
Pandora, thank you so much for joining us yet again. It was lovely having you again here in our studios, because one thing we thrive for is, inspiring viewers and making sure that they understand that getting there is never impossible. It's all about, as you mentioned, having the focus, putting in the work. And as you said, something beautiful, and I think we all have to live by it. Nothing worth having comes easy. And I think I'm taking that myself. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It was great being here. It's always an honor being here. I'm always happy when I'm here.
Viewers at home, that was our guest Pandora sharing in her beautiful journey of, going to Angola and just rubbing shoulders with some big individuals whom we don't even know about, but one day we'll get to know about, and just sharing the same room with her. It's such an honor and a privilege. But that's where we concluded for now. Let's head over to an ad break. See you when we come back.